You say you want to find happiness. You say you want to do all of the positive things and you want to really be happy in life, but you're not doing the most essential part of actually being happy, and that's giving yourself a purpose. You, or at least men, are just like bicycles. You know how when you ride a bicycle, you have to keep pedaling because as soon as you stop, that bicycle falls over. That's exactly how a man is like. The problem is your life is currently ruined by a ton of things that happened in society, so now you don't do anything with your life. Your life literally has no purpose. I'll tell you what you do. If you're a teenager, you go to school, you wake up tired, you go to school, you come back, you sleep a bit, or maybe you eat, or maybe you just play video games and start scrolling. And that cycle keeps repeating itself for the rest of your day. Eat, sleep, play video games. Eat, sleep, play video games. Eat, sleep, play video games. As soon as you get a weekend, that's your jackpot. Now you're playing even more video games or you're scrolling. You go back to school and you're doing the exact same thing again. If you're a person who goes to work, you do the same thing but with work. The work that you do is probably something that you don't like that much. It's probably something that you're forced to do, something that you really don't enjoy that much. But you didn't decide to start a business. No, you decided to stick to this job because this is what was safe, and this is what was pushed to you by your parents, by your colleagues, by literally everyone in the world. But that's not the purpose that you want. That's not something that you really want to achieve, that you have to work towards. That's not something that's extremely difficult for you to achieve in a certain area. That's not something that you actually want to do. It's something that you're forced to do. Get the difference? You have to give yourself a purpose that you want to do, a purpose that you will actually want to go through with for a period of your life. It doesn't have to be your entire life. Nobody knows what will happen and what you'll enjoy and like in the future. It just has to be something that you like now, something that you really want to do now. And make sure it's not something materialistic. Make sure you're not doing it for the money. Make sure you're doing it because it's something that you actually like to do. When I first discovered YouTube, when someone actually told me I could start making content even at my age, and I could start getting two things from it. One, I'd be spreading a really good message, and two, I'd be able to gain from it. I'd actually benefit, I'd profit from YouTube. So I was like, this is a win-win, is it not? I instantly started YouTube. In a month, I had a YouTube channel built up and I was starting to make videos. So you have to give yourself a purpose. You're not gonna find happiness if you don't have a purpose in your life. That's just like a base rule. You're literally not gonna be able to find happiness if your life isn't targeted towards a certain area. Because just like I told you, you're just like a bicycle. And as soon as you stop moving, you're not doing anything. Just falling back. That's why that's why men who retire die right after they retire. Like most people, or most men, die after they retire. Why do you think that is? It's because they stop giving their lives a purpose. The thing that was driving, the thing that was making them want to live life ended. The work that was literally making them live ended. It finished. So they just died. They had no purpose in life. They had no reason to live. So they died. Not on purpose, but it's something that happens because you give up your purpose. That's also what happens to people who achieve something in their life. For example, if you had a goal and you wanted to reach a certain position in your job, like become a manager, when you decide to become a manager and when you do become a manager, that purpose is ended. Just like right now, you're a bicycle that's falling over because you finished the first purpose that you have and you're not setting a new one. Give yourself new goals. You have to have a goal so that you can actually start achieving things and making your life more fun. Your life will never be fun if you don't have a goal. If you don't have a purpose that you're working towards. So again, I'll keep saying it. The most important thing that you should do is giving yourself a purpose. Now, what do you think will happen after you give yourself that purpose? What do you think could happen throughout that purpose? Think about it for a second. What's something that can piss you off throughout that purpose to the point that you might be unhappy because of it? There's literally just two things. The first one is you're gonna be unhappy because of the negatives that come your way. You're starting your business, for example. You're starting your dream business and it's a clothing business. And then when you're trying to offer those clothes to people, nobody wants to buy. That's signal number one. That's negative number one. Now, you can choose to view those as two different things. You can either choose to tell yourself, that's a negative signal, so now I'm pissed the hell off, and I'm just mad, and I'm annoyed, and that's stupid, because that won't fix anything. And it doesn't help, it just puts you in a negative state. Or you can tell yourself, that's a negative signal. That signal, I'm gonna view it as just that, a signal. I'm not gonna be pissed off about it, it's just a signal in my eyes. When a golfer plays golf and he sees the golf field in front of him, if he sees a bunch of bunkers and bumps and things on the golf field, he won't be pissed off. He'll just tell himself, oh yeah, there are bunkers and bumps there, so I won't shoot the ball there. That simple. Now he just glances at them. He's playing, he's gonna play the ball, and he just looks around. Oh yeah, there are bumps and bunkers there, bumps and bunkers there, so I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna play in the middle. That's exactly how you should do anything in your life. You look, just glance at the negative, or you realize that it's a signal, you view it as just that, a signal, and then you go on. Sometimes negatives can be positive for you, if you decide to use them as signals. Those negatives can start being fuel for your positive thing, or the positive things that are happening to you. Now let's talk about the second thing. If you get insulted. If you're someone who gets easily insulted, you know what that means? It means you have low self-confidence. Because think about it for a second. Other than the fact that it's proven by studies, just think about it for a second. Imagine you saw a person who was bulked up as hell. He went to the gym a ton, and you see him as a giant, 6'5" giant. He speaks with confidence. Imagine if someone threw an insult at that guy. Do you think the guy would get mad? I don't think so. You know this. The guy wouldn't get mad. No. He just think to himself, oh yeah, that guy's stupid. I didn't do anything to him, he's just insulting me. He's stupid. Simple as that. Now imagine a scrawny white kid who's like 5'6" or something, and he's doesn't go to the gym a single day of his life. He just scrolls every single day, plays video games. If someone threw an insult at that guy, what do you think would happen? He'd get mad, he'd get frustrated, he'd throw a fit, everybody just be stupid. He'd do stupid things, right? He'd just instantly get frustrated. That's because that person has low self-confidence. He doesn't have any self-confidence in himself. And studies have proven that a person who has more confidence in himself reacts less to negatives that happens in his life. To the negatives that people tell him in his life. It's because he has more confidence. So he doesn't let those things affect him. Your body has a way of reacting to things that happen to negative things that happen to it. For example, when you go to the gym and you hold the pull-up bar for the first time in your life, your hand will start to hurt. The next day you realize a callus will start forming. The next day you'll have a full callus. That's how your body protects the part that was hurt the first time, by building a callus on it. When you get an injury, when it heals, it becomes stronger. That's how your body prevents the same injury from happening in the same spot again. You should have the same thing, that callus, but you should callus your mind. You should callus your emotions and your mind to work the same way. And self-confidence builds that layer. It builds that layer of confidence. That layer of confidence is basically a cover, a sheet that helps protect the soft insides of your emotions and your mind from the harsh outside world. And that is basically just the exact same as callousing your hand, but instead you're callousing your emotions, you're callousing your mind, you're callousing the feelings that you have inside of you, the emotional state that you're currently in. You're protecting it from becoming negative. But something better than this, something way better than all of this, is being in a position where you're not even facing negatives in the real world, but instead you're being in a position where you're facing positives all around you in the entire world. Not in the entire world, but in a group of people, in a friend group that you're in that's full of positive people. That's the best thing that you could possibly give for yourself. And if you can't find that, I decided to make it myself so that I can help you. The person who's watching this, the person who really wants to take happiness seriously, who really wants to take all of this topic, positivity and happiness, seriously. This is just for you. I made a community called Social Media of Positivity, and I plan to fill this people. I hope to fill this community with a ton of positive people, a ton of people who want to achieve happiness, people who really want to, people just like you, who are watching this video, who can't find a way to become happy, who want to find that thing. Because imagine not just one person, not just two people, but like 10, 20, 100, 1,000 people who are all trying to become positive together. Imagine the effect of that on the world. There are communities for literally everything. A football community, a baseball community, a racing community, a book community, a business community, but there's not a community for happy people, not a community for positive people. So I decided to make it myself. Just imagine the positive impact that you can have on the world with this community. Think about it for a second. Hundreds of people commit suicide every single day. Imagine we could change that. Imagine we took one of those suicidal people, put them inside the community, and that changed his life forever. That stopped him from being suicidal. Changed his mindset. Changed their life. Changed his life. Give him purpose. Made them happy. Made them build a family. You just didn't save one person in that scenario. You didn't save one person. You saved that entire family. That's what I thought about when I made this community. So again, always remember, give yourself a purpose in your life. And that will be the start of you finding happiness. Always remember to stay positive and happy, and I'll see you in the next video.